Ashe, everyone. This is Innocent Smith from She She Witchy Wellnez. And for today's share, I want to make this a bit of a surprise. We're going to continue with our tarot-inspired living series. And perhaps that's what this is. I'm just going to let Spirit lead this and direct this video. So before we do anything else, let's get into our bodies, right? Like, let's just really take a moment out wherever you are, if it's safe to do so. Just close your eyes for the next few moments and just be, right? Just be still, just be quiet, just be you. But for the next few moments, let's just be, okay? So I'm going to play you a quick sound therapy snippet, and I want you to close your eyes, relax, pay attention to your breathing if you want, but just kind of be at this time, okay? If you're not somewhere where you can do that, just pause this until you can and then resume. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to share with you what this was, and for anyone who would like, you can take a quick screenshot of this for your journaling purposes or just for your meditation, right? Or just a mindfulness moment, whenever, right? But just kind of jot it down or take a quick screenshot, and that way you'll have this information at least, right? And you can reflect back on this time when it is appropriate. All right, so our number is 3. And this card is representing elemental balance, right? So we're dealing with harmony, centeredness, and reverence. Those are our keywords for this time. And this is a timeless reading, so whenever this message finds you, whenever you come across, it is the exact time and space and place when you were meant to hear this and to receive this. Anything that does not resonate for you during our time together, please disregard. This is only intended for confirmation, so please consult with your spirit guides, your ancestors, right? Your counsel, your wisest of counsel. Take some time out, consult with yourself, and note that anything that does not resonate, feel free to leave, okay? This message is meant for who it's meant for. I can't make it for anyone else. All right, so tapping into these 3 things, right? We're talking about alchemy is our first real sort of message that I'm getting from this, right? And this is saying that if the melody from the elemental balance ball that was just played for you reminded you that you are in harmony with what is an important part of your daily life. This is calling you to ground and to be comfortable inside of yourself. This is an invitation to come home to that point of stillness where you are at one with all that is. And what does this card mean for you? The elemental balance bowl means that harmony in all things means harmony is in all things. Getting a little throat chakra, so I know this is a message someone does not want to get out, but we're going to put it out. Yeah, so this is speaking about elemental balance and harmony. It contains the essential components that represent water, air, fire, earth, and ether. It amplifies clarity, vision, flow, and rootedness. And the expansion of your consciousness. It asks you to call all the scattered, hurting, painful, dismissed parts of yourself home and to be centered in the vibration of harmony. Experience a sense of reverence as you meditate with the sound and this image on the card. Embody the statement, nothing rocks my world. And say that again, nothing rocks my world. So this card is reminding you to choose to be in reverence and centered in stillness and harmony. Feel the empowerment of knowing that nothing and no one can move you from your center. You are stable. Harmony is the truth of who you are. And as you listen to the sound recording, tune in to the frequency of harmony and allow this message to be received and anchored within you. You are the embodiment of stillness and reverence. You are centered. So I'm going to give you a little mantra first, and then we're going to tap into the cards and see what message they have for us beyond this. Okay, so this is about alchemy. So close your eyes and allow them to gently relax, gazing downward, focusing below you, deep into the earth. Breathe low in your belly. Feel the sound vibration move up from beneath you and allow it to release out of your crown chakra. Imagine breathing in light and love as you release anything that is not of the highest expression of harmony. Let the sound vibration of this incredible singing bowl circulate within you and feel it as you speak the mantra out loud or silently. I am in deep reverence for all that I am and all that is possible. I feel at home within myself, and I am nourished by stillness. I am centered. I am harmony. So with that, I'm being called to pull out a deck for you guys that we're gonna see in a moment. But there's a particular deck that I feel like is really calling us at this time, and so bear with me. I found it. Thank you so much for your patience. So, This particular deck that I'm going to pull out for you is the Earth Alchemy Oracle, because I really feel like this deck was calling and just really wanted to be a part of today's message. Okay. And so I'm going to read with that. I'm just going to prop up our elemental balance card. It may be slightly out of view, but there you guys go. All right. So let's see what message we have here. And I'm just going to do a smoke cleanse on our space. I hope you guys are doing well. I've missed you. I know it's been since the last time we saw each other. Haha. It's been a while since we've gotten together, it feels like. Although it's not, it just feels like it has. And so, okay. Just gonna offer some incense here to our space. I want to ignite all the senses, and I offer some of this to you as well. So take what is needed. Okay. Thank you for that. All right, so here we go. So the Earth Alchemy Oracle. Let's see what message. You guys, I feel like you are so... Just a minute. Is that better? I know, you guys, I know. You're like, what is she doing? Yeah, it's just really important that I try to get the best angle for you guys. And I feel like even that... Here we go. I'm going to have to zoom out a bit. All right. So Earth Alchemy. All right. So there's a card that showed itself. I didn't do anything else. There's actually two cards that I'm going to show you. So the first being citrine and dandelion. And it says, make a wish. And this is clearing comparison, surrender to magic, right? So this is that as above, so below energy. And then our second card that I'm being called to pull is okay. And I know crystals, and this one is still a trip to try to say, so I'm going to do my best. All right, so bear with me. Astrophylites and ginkgo. And the message from this card is star elders, signals and symbols, divine blueprints, and Amenti. And okay, I'm going to take that cue, and I'm going to pull from another deck that I have for you guys. Apparently I'm just following where spirit leads, and interestingly enough, I just added the Amenti Oracle to the collection. It is pretty fiery because it's new in the vault. So going to call up on it and see what message they have for us. So bear with me. Get out of the way. And so what I've done is I went ahead and cleansed my altar space, right? So that I did not have to keep doing that. You guys, bear with me. I'm so sorry. Okay. Just trying to get you the best possible angle. So I know that's not going to be super clear, but I will give you an opportunity for a screenshot as soon as I'm done. Right? But for now, let's just see what message we got. Okay. And that all hearts and minds are clear. Okay, so I'm being led to take this card. And it says, I keep my own counsel. I keep my own counsel. And that goes to card, let's just call it A and B, shall we? Card A is I keep my own counsel. And then card B for Astrophyllite and Ginkgo, Astrophyllite and Ginkgo. Let's see what your card is. I affirm that all life is sacred. I affirm that all life is sacred. And so for someone, I'm getting a message that you're feeling somewhat conflicted between what you're doing and what you want to do. Yeah, you're feeling very conflicted on that. So I'm being led to draw a different deck. Let's just see, shall we? Okay. Well, there is another deck that just pulled itself out. And so this is the Witch's Year. For anyone who wants to know what I'm reading from. So I love it when the cards just make themselves known. It's like, no, I want to be heard. I want to be heard, and I want to be heard. So bear with me. And so going back to this, as I bond with these cards for a moment, I want to tell you about the keeping your own counsel. And then the affirming that all life is sacred, but starting with keeping your own counsel. Like, what does that even mean? All right, what are we talking about within that? So it's like for whoever this message is for, about keeping your own counsel, you really feel like, pull this off for a second so you don't get tempted to look at that one while the other one's on deck. But yeah, I feel like it's someone who has been through many things. I'll just say it this way, right? Like, you've had a really long journey and you've seen a lot of things. You've been a lot of places. And this card for me is saying that you have not particularly closed off your heart to love. It's not that. In fact, you have a very big heart, right? A very open heart. And you give it pretty freely. But you also know that at this time, you are being called to keep some things close to your chest, right? Like, not everything that is done for you in the darkness needs to be brought to the light. And when it's time for it to be made so, right, it will be so. So the goddess that this card is associated with, right, is Ma'at. As a living principle, Ma'at is the embodiment of order. And in living this principle, our daily experiences become personifications of fairness, truth, and balance, to circumvent chaos through actions that are just. Just being the key word. It is defined by an unbiased equilibrium. So there's a quote, right? And it says, to die is to stop living, but to stop living is something entirely different than dying. Now, this is said to be an ancient Chinese proverb. So in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, when a soul enters the underworld of the Duat, the heart is placed on a scale to be weighed against the feather of Ma'at as the measure for the actions and inactions of their lifespan. Before the heart can be weighed, the deceased would have to recite the 42 negative confessions of Ma'at as taken from the papyrus of Ani. Now, I do find it a bit concerning about how many of us do not know those 42 ideals, right? But never fear, I'm going to have them listed for you in the description box, so you're welcome. And if you could just give a like to let me know that you got it, the link for it, that is. Yeah, I'm just going to put it in the description box. But to let me know that you see it, that you got it, that you appreciate it, a like would be great. Thank you. Yeah, so what was not done would have equal bearing on what was done. And this was considered justification of the life lived being perceived by how closely the soul aligned with Ma'at's laws of harmony. And that is another way to interpret this card, right? Is that I keep my own counsel. And what that is speaking about is saying that you know you better than anyone else except your divine mother, except your divine creator, except your divine father, right? Except the one. If all roads lead to source, right? And source being a singularity, then no one knows you better than yourself, because you are that God, you are that goddess experienced in itself here in this dimension, in this plane, right? You are both the observer and the observed. I'm gonna let them marinate. All right, so coming back to the I affirm that all life is sacred. This card with the dragonfly, right? And the herbs, and just get into that card for a moment, okay? So I want to tell you a little something first. In ancient days, Egypt was called Kim, which translates to black earth and refers to the fertile soil of the Nile River Valley. Now, it is believed that both chemistry, the study of substances that form matter, and alchemy, the art of understanding the relationship between consciousness and matter, both find their roots in Kim's cradle of civilization. Interesting that at one time so many of our people actually knew that, and it wasn't a secret. An alchemical understanding of the world lends itself to a vision of sacredness within all of life. You know, with the idea that life itself is a byproduct of the mind, right? In other words, we create on reality. We create our lives. And just as we give life, we can take life away. This alchemical understanding of the world lends itself to a vision of sacredness within all life. I'll repeat, that life itself is a byproduct of the mind, with the understanding of mind being the soul of all that exists. Similarly, synchronous, in sync, let's just say that, the ancient Egyptian ethos places the pinnacle of the personality as a force of nature's soul. What are you talking about? From the one mind, alchemically symbolized as a circle, emerges the square of the four elements of air, earth, fire, and water. Surrounding that square, we then find the triangle of the three alchemical principles that govern the all of it all, which happen to be sulfur, which is a consciousness, the soul, the awareness. Mercury, which is spirit, mind, and salt, which is the body, structured thought. The synthesis of symbols is what is referred to as the philosopher's stone, or the elixir of life that unlocks immortality, the greatest gold, that magnum opus. The magnum opus is the great work of an artist. And when you're analyzing your life with an idealized perspective, we can find the art within the natural world to be nothing short of sacred. Human beings have the potential to be the greatest pattern recognition machines. We have neural networks that are activated through experience, memory imprinting consciousness with coded language. Nature can be a great activator of enhanced perception and the embodiment of the force within the source of it all. The lattice of life, the effect of soul as the actuating cause. So once the pattern is understood and we find fluency in the language of consciousness and the alchemical code, we can find the magnum opus materialized. Nature's potions and poisons are equally potent, but with the wisdom of an alchemist, even the most poisonous forms of life can be beneficial when the elements are properly manipulated into a medicine. The same is true when it comes to philosophy and the art of transforming words into golden wisdom. If the light is within you, the light of the world will come alive and reveal itself. If the spirit is refined, the soul will enter. If you embody the ideal of sacred life, the foundation of your reality becomes hallowed ground, and celestial consciousness can be seen and received infinitely as you appreciate and affirm the art of your unique expression within what is infinitely expressed from age to age, eternally. And that is the author's perception of what this card represents, right? I affirm that all life is sacred. And so I'm not going to tell you guys what my take on that is, but instead what I would rather to do is to prompt you to journal about whichever cards you're drawn to and the meaning of those cards for you, right? Like what sights, what sounds, what colors do these cards invoke for you? Speaking of which, there was a message within that led me to pull from another deck for you, right? So two more. I'm going to pull what I'm being told to pull, which is the Witch's Year next, okay? Because I'd already told you guys that this deck literally just jumped off the shelf at me. So it wanted to be played with. It wanted to be witnessed. It wanted to be seen. It wanted to be heard. It wanted to be felt. It just wanted to be here. And it said, this is my time, my place, and who am I to deny this day? Okay. All right. So what message? Apologize for the shaking the camera. That was not intentional. I know, and I'm doing my best. Okay. To keep everything in focus for you. There we go. All right. So what message? Huh. Okay. So we have two different messages. One for pile A, one for pile B. And I'm going to read those out to you. So the first one being autumn rituals. Autumn rituals. And I'll read this for you. It says, unlike the spring equinox, a joyful time of growth and light, the autumn equinox has a more melancholic air as things come to their natural end and darkness falls. It is a time of transition, leaving the warmth of summer behind as the world prepares for winter. Okay. And what I will do is I will leave the rituals associated with this card in the description box for you guys, right? But I will just read you essentially what this is about, to share with you what it's about. So this is Mabon season, right? And so this card is representing that as the wheel turns towards winter and sunny days become scarce, it can be tempting to retreat. Adopt a positive approach instead. Be thankful for the harvest and summer with simple rituals, and ask for guidance to help you through the dark months. Okay, so that's what we're doing with this card. And then for card B, we have, again, in Mabon season still, right? Maybe. It says the magic of trees. All right, so I'll read you this one. Any witch worth her besom should know her trees. The wise and venerable plants have much to give us, and there's plenty to learn from them. And as I say that, you guys, I want to share a quick aside in that there's a tree that's been on this property where I currently reside that's been here for an age, and it finally ended its life, but not its life cycle, recently, very, very recently. And I know the tree, and I would say I'm sad to see this tree go because it never bore fruit, not really, not healthy fruit anyway, but still just the energy that that tree provided. And it was an old apple tree, and I'm really missing that tree right now. I can't believe I'm sharing this with you guys, but it's all right. So on and on, the magic of trees. The autumn equinox, when the leaves are falling, it is the ideal time to get to know the trees better. As the leaves tumble, gather some for identification. Look at trunks and bare branches for further clues. Okay? And that goes with I affirm that all life is sacred. That is your card. The magic of trees. So someone, if card A, you were drawn to this set of cards, right? Then this is talking about going inward, right? And like rediscovering the magic of you. And for those of you who have completed this work, or you're not feeling drawn to that at this time, that means it's not for you, then you're being called to study trees, specifically trees. It doesn't say plants, it says trees. Yeah. Okay. Hearts and minds are clear on that one. So, okay. I just wanted to make sure before I moved on to another deck that I gave you what I was supposed to give you from that message. So that being said, all right. There is the Deadly Apothecary Oracle that I'm being told to pull from at this time for you. That is the Deadly Apothecary Oracle. All right. Okay, so let's see what message do we have here. And I love these cards, you guys. Oh my gosh, like that is a beautiful, beautiful work of art right there. All right. So let's see. The Deadly Apothecary Oracle, what message the ancestors have for you at this time? Let's do it. Okay, well, you pretty much just jumped on that. So I'm going to say the first card is card A. This is card number 21. And it is the Opium Poppy. And it says, share your light. Share your light. Right? Meaning, don't keep this journey of yours like inward. Do not keep this to yourself. Share your light. It just means allow yourself to be seen and allow yourself to shine. Don't allow anyone else to dull your shine. Know your boundaries. So for card B, we have the U, card number 35. And this says, embrace change. Hold up, where are you? Embrace change. That's the message of this card. And so I feel like for some of you, you've been feeling a bit stuck, right? Almost as if you've done it all, you've seen it all, you know it all. You're a little bored right now, but you're also feeling restless. And you know that something has been nagging at your spirit, has been calling you, pulling on you. You just couldn't figure out what it was or what it wanted from you. And you've had flashes of that. But at the same time, you're like, what does that even mean, right? What does that mean? Well, I'm here to remind you that when you have those moments, right, Spirit definitely wants you to record those. So write that down. Note it, record it, however, it doesn't matter. Paint it, draw it, something. But document it, okay? And at the same time, pay attention. Pay careful attention to what Spirit is showing you. So when it comes to Magnum Poppy, right, like, let's break this card down a bit more. The botanical name for this is going to be in the description box, but I'm going to spell it out for you. Papaver. Somniferum. And I'm going to be brave and attempt to say this. Papawar. Somniferum. Okay, that. But we know it is opium poppy. The energy of this flower can be sedating and escaping, right? Like that sense of in and out, that sense of smoke, of lightheadedness, of, you know, like your thoughts being like vapor and you're trying to hold on to them, but as fast as they come, they disappear, they dissipate. That. Other names for this flower is the breadseed poppy for this particular flower. So traditional medicinal uses for this flower is the narcotic sap has a hypnotic and sedative effect, and it can be used to calm emotional and physical pain. Derivatives include morphine, codeine, and heroin. So that's opium. The magical and historical uses. Opium poppy is known to induce fantastical, creative visions and spark innovative ideas. Spell workers can work with the energy of this plant to manifest new ways of seeing things. Okay? So what it's saying is, and I'll go back to this, right? When I said that you are both the observer and the observed, right? You are spirit witnessing itself having a physical existence. And at the same time, you are that physical manifestation, knowing that you're tethered to something higher than you, something greater than you, something that's within you. Okay? So, what about the poison? Okay, so we got to be safe here, right? And I have to tell you guys all the facts. So, opium poppy dislikes interacting with others and will avoid them as much as possible because human behavior and social norms baffle them. They choose not to partake in normal relationship milestones such as teenage romances, marriage, and children. This is the archetype we're talking about, the poison. Unconsciously, they are choosing to remain alone and insular to consolidate their energy. They prefer their own world with little disturbance from the outside influences. Yeah. All right, so the antidote. Unbeknown to them, and due to the amnesia we all endure as part of our human existence, Opium Poppy has incarnated on Earth with a sacred mission. Their soul is from the stars, and their purpose is to raise the energy of this planet, which they do by interacting with others and sharing their light. They must learn to be more generous with their time and energy. The main thing for them to remember is before they go to sleep at night, they should release any energy that isn't theirs with a deep outward breath and call their own light energy back to them after each inward breath. In this way, they will remain balanced. And I'm so feeling this right now. Okay, and so our last card, and this is card number 35, the U. As I say, last card, I'm being told no, because there's a message I have to deliver to you guys after this. So bear with me, but this is you. Y-E-W-U. Not you, but you. All right, so this is saying embrace change. This card number is 35. You, the botanical name is Taxus Baccata. B-A-C-C-A-T-A. However you said it. Okay. The energy, hallowed and resurrecting. Other names, common you, English you. Okay. So the traditional medicinal uses for this, it is used in some homeopathic remedies. The magical and historical uses is that it's a sacred druidical tree and symbol, I said druidical, and symbol of life after death. A storm once upended an ancient yew tree in an English churchyard, and the next day, entwined within its exposed roots, were the bones of the long dead. Yep. So the poison, this archetype. You is stuck in grief. You is stuck in grief and cannot imagine ever being joyful again. Right? You see your eyes are kind of glazed over. It's that I'm not even here look. Long ago, they lost something or someone dear to them, and it colors every aspect of their life. They're mired in their sorrow, which has become like a pair of comfortable old shoes. They feel like they can never be happy again and cannot accept the changes the loss has brought them. In their darkest moments, they feel that no one else has ever suffered as much as them, that they have suffered the most. The antidote. One thing people can always rely on is change, because life is in constant flux and can transform in an instant. From a limited perspective, our human part detests change and will do anything to maintain the status quo. But resistance is futile. Life will change as we grow. You will enjoy gains and suffer losses. And the more they can accept this as part of life on earth, the more they will enjoy the crazy ride. They can set down the heavy load of being a hapless victim, beholden to fate by embracing change, realizing that everything is just as it should be. As Apollinaire said, after each sorrow, joy came back again. Okay? And so the last deck that I feel like I'm being told to pull for you guys right now. Bear with me, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. There is a deck that I've been told to pull for you guys from, and I just rearranged the studio, so that is interesting. Because you ever go for a deck and it's not where you put it, but it's somewhere that you didn't? So I tell you what I'm gonna do is I'm going to ask Spirit to redirect, and then we're gonna pull the deck that I'm being told to pull for you. All right, there we go. Okay. Okay. So I'm being told to pull from the Witching Oracle. Is this deck? And let's get into this. The Witching Oracle is what Spirit told me to pull for you. Okay. So we're going to get into this. If you guys are still here, you are incredible. And remember, this is a timeless message. It will find you when it is meant to, and take only what resonates. Please use your own discernment. And if this is your first time hearing this message, then it's not meant for you. These messages are for confirmation only. Okay? All right. So, let's see, Spirit, what message do you have for the collective at this time? Okay. And they're twinning, so we're going to see. So for Group A, the Flames, this is about transformation, right? Transformation. It's about burning away those things that no longer serve you, right? Your highest good, that you no longer find balance in, releasing those things. It's about shining from the inside out, right? Whatever it is that you burn for, whatever it is that you truly desire, that is that's your key right now, right? Like, that is your skeleton key. That is where your answers lie. So what is it that's scaring you right now? What is it that's calling you right now? What is it that you are just on fire about? And that's your message. For Group B, we have number 36. Oh, I'm sorry. And for Group A, this card is number 19, right? 1 and 9. As we know, which breaks down to 10, which comes down to a 1 and a 0 also. All right. So Group B, card number 36. And this says, bathing in the river. This card is all about going deep into some self-care, because the universe is saying that you really need that at this time, right? That's what that's the message that the you has been trying to get to you, that you have been trying to remind yourself of. That is that message of remembering, right? Remember what brings you pleasure. Remember what soothes your soul. Just like what lights you up, what cools you down, what calms you down. There has to be balance. Oh my God, there has to be balance. Always. For as hard as you play, you have to rest. For as much as you rest, you gotta play. Balance. So with the flames, this is saying that overall, a new you is emerging, and to release your past, right? Whatever you were, you're not that anymore. You are not that anymore. You're now, you're this. The flames represent dramatic changes also, right? The kind of changes that are significant. Think of it like a tower moment where everything's just burning down to the ground. Sure, it can seem overwhelming and most likely unpleasant. It's never a good idea to burn bridges because your situation may be past the point of a favorable outcome. Now, it's more important to cut your losses and begin to rebuild rather than trying to salvage anything from this rubble. Your situation doesn't have to be an ominous doomsday, right? That's not what we're talking about, because this would be like the Tower card and the Death card. We put those two cards together. It's also a fool's moment, right? It's also that magic moment, that magician's moment, right? If you're willing to make the choice to move on, change can be rewarding. If you allow yourself to go with the flow rather than clinging to what is no longer part of your path. Now, if you choose to stay in your current situation, know that there may be severe consequences. This card is a strong warning to avoid self-destruction and making choices you know to be harmful to yourself and others. This is your chance to walk away and let a new you emerge. If your reading is about love or relationships, consider how your actions can be making things worse or how your temper could be getting the better of you. If your question is about finances, this is a wake-up call to be more mindful of your financial situation. If your reading is about your career, this could mean a sudden shakeup at work. All right? And so the flames bring dramatic change no matter where it's placed in your reading. And we're going to look to be more clear for more clarity about your situation, right? Because the flames do carry over. And actually, okay, this is not for a separate group, but there's just different people in here that need to hear different things right now. But overall, right, like, it's still your journey. It's still your journey. It just depends on which side, right? Like, which side of the river are you on right now? Are you up? Are you down? Right? Are you having a flame moment? Or are you having a water moment? It's fire, water. Okay? So bathing in the river. This is about being present. It's about self-care and tending to your mind, your body, and your soul. Bathing in that river. Right? The tarot companion for this card is the Four of Swords. So self-care is its own kind of magic. It's a spell not having to be elaborate to be effective. Nor does it need to produce anything specific like more money or a lover. Magic can be channeled. Funny, right? Remember how I said that this card also represents a magician? And we're talking about magic over here in like the bathing in the river. Still a magician's energy. It's still about remembering. Magic can be channeled on a cozy Saturday afternoon when you're just sitting in your favorite chair or next to your favorite window with your favorite blanket and your favorite tea or coffee in your favorite mug with no other goal other than to have a moment to yourself to connect to the present, to remember the present. There are the moments that refresh you and give you the strength to deal with some of life's more difficult challenges. And when bathing in the river flows into your reading, it's a big nudge from Spirit to make time for tending to your mind, your body, and your soul. You haven't been fully present in your life. And perhaps you have a spiritual practice, but it feels more like checking an item off the to-do list than a moment of bliss and ease. I know I've been guilty of this lately. Yes, even as a high priestess, even as someone who is, deeply into energy work, right? Like, I at times neglect my own spiritual hygiene. So none of us are perfect. Don't beat yourself up. That's not the goal. Simply think of something that you can do to nourish yourself as you work and to find this balance. So maybe you take a warm bath, but you spend that time reading over textbooks or office work that you brought home. I know that's me. Perhaps you have a healthy diet, but you're inhaling food in between appointments rather than savoring the taste and feeling the nourishment that's flowing into your body as you digest this food, right? Smell it, see it, all that. Self-care isn't truly care if it feels more like a chore or something you're compounding with other things. Remember that you matter, and you're not just selfishly putting yourself first. You're taking care of yourself so that you'll be around and present for all of life's precious little moments. First steps, birthday parties, time with friends, experiencing culture, and living rather than just getting through the day. I don't know about you, but existence is not my truth. I'm here to live, not to exist. Companion cards to bathing in the river. This card supersedes almost all of the other cards in this deck, and it represents an immediate need for self-care and to slow down. So, yeah, in other words, this card is saying you're doing too much. And with that, I'm going to close this reading. Wow. Yeah. Good thing I didn't know that it was going to turn out to be this long when I started it. But there is your message for today, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for allowing me to bring this message to you. And as we close, I'm just going to give you your sound once more. So if you want to just record this, please do so. I'll have a screenshot of these spreads for you. Take a deep breath and just relax. Get comfortable. Here we go. Or maybe not. Okay. So apparently the sound does not want to be played again, so that means that we're done. So I'm just going to close this out with us this time. Here we go. Okay, everyone. Until next time, I love you so much. Ashe.